Hey, this is AJ, and in today's video I'm going to talk about one of my favorite jobs, the Japanese privacy fence. So if you've been following along for a while, last couple of videos, some of the shorts that I've been putting up, you've been seeing me burning some wood. So what I do is I start with cedar fence boards, usually different thicknesses and whatnot, and I kind of mix and match them a little bit to get a pattern. And I like to use these fence boards, first of all, because cedar is kind of rot resistant, but they're pretty easy to burn as well. So I usually use a bigger torch, but just as an example here, when I turn this on, you can kind of see how easy it is to burn that and get that char effect. That's a preservation technique, and it's also a finishing technique, so I really like to do that quite a bit. But I kind of got into this kind of design and this kind of work because I lived in Japan for a while, and I used to see these horizontal fences, and I'll be putting some pictures and videos in here as I'm talking. But it's just kind of, it always, every time I saw one of these fences, like, oh, that's so beautiful, that's so nice, and I hardly ever see them in the States. So when I have a chance to kind of build them, I do, and I try to promote these as kind of hiding fences, whether you're trying to hide garbage cans or some area in your front yard. Yeah, I don't do a whole fence with this, I just don't have the time for that. But I'm trying to find my niche in the area of hidden little areas around people's houses. And I've had a few so far, and some people want a lighter finish, some people want a darker finish, so I've been working with that a little bit as well. Now currently, it's not a huge money maker for me yet because it's very labor intensive to sit and burn all this stuff, and you know, all the stuff that goes into installing one of these kind of takes quite a bit of time. I apologize, I got some jets flying overhead, but you know, the amount of time that it takes to do these things, I'm not really charging what I should be charging right now. I'm not making a ton of money. I mean, when I work all the numbers out, I'm probably in like the $20, $30 an hour, to be honest with you. But the charging amount, you know, for this particular job, I just charged $1,100. You're like, wow, yeah. But when you look at the material cost I have in this, the back and forth, the burning, all that kind of stuff, I'm not really making a lot of money on this yet. But I'm working on it. You know, I'm trying to get to a point where I price these things properly, and I have to go through, in my mind, this learning phase or this learning curve to kind of get to that. So if you're interested in doing these kinds of fences, I sell them because it's not a permanent structure in the fact that I'm not putting posts in the ground. I'm taking T-posts, as you can see over there. I'm banging them into the ground, and I don't have an example on me right now, but I'll put a picture up here. I buy these brackets off of Amazon, where I can basically slide the bracket over the T-post, and then I can screw a pressure treated 2x4 to it, and that becomes the base of the privacy fence that I'm building. And then I start to put my pattern across, and I'm normally, you know, like I said, I'm laying down the wood horizontally like this. I'm spacing it out, usually with like a gap, the thickness of this 1x2, and I'm kind of going down and changing the pattern up quite a bit. So when they're all said and done, I think they look nice. The customers that I've been building them for seem to like them and appreciate them. So if you're looking to if you like woodworking, if you like this kind of stuff, this may be a job you might want to look into trying to do. I said it's more of a labor of love, pricing wise. Take a look at the numbers that I have and probably double it if you really want to make it a money maker. If you would just enjoy doing it, then you could sell a little bit low, kind of build up your experience with it, and kind of go from there. A couple of tips and tricks that I will tell you that I employ and that I use, especially here in Texas, is before I put the T-post in, I have like an auger bit for my drill, so I'm drilling down into the ground a little bit to loosen it up. I usually pour some water in there or get rid of any of the rocks, and then I pound the T-post down into that. And then I also put kind of a stabilizer, so after the fence boards are up on the back side, I'll put 1x2, usually at an angle down the back, to kind of pull everything in together and give it a little bit of stability. But that's my job of the week. It's one of the jobs that I enjoy doing. I'm still working on trying to figure out the money aspect of it. So if you like these kinds of jobs, or you have any questions on what I did, go ahead and just drop a comment down below. I'll get to you as soon as I can. And anyway, appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for the next one.